Hello everyone. Welcome to another lesson with me, JCat, your resident catstronaut. Today's lesson will be about moon phases. Why does the moon phase? The phases are based on the location of the moon in its orbit and which area is illuminated by the sun. But it is not the Earth casting a shadow on the moon. That would be called a lunar eclipse. And this is how it works. The full moon is when the sunlight is coming in and can illuminate the full face of the moon that you see. The new moon is when the sun and moon are on the same side, making the side illuminated, the side facing away from Earth. Waxing is the time between the new moon until it gets to the full moon in its progression to the full moon. And the side that I will be showing you in this presentation is the waxing moon. The waning moon is the time from the full moon until you get to the new moon again. These are an example of day 1 of the waning cycle. So that starts at 99% until you reach 1% again, and then 0 is the new moon. On the right is the capture from my regular phone camera. Point and click. And I did no modification. On the left is when I switched my phone to Pro mode. Switching it to Pro mode blacks out everything except the light source, or the target, in this case, the moon. We can predict with accuracy the phases, when they will occur, their exact dates, and even their exact times. These two screen grabs were taken from the Moon Phase Calendar app. It shows everything about the moon cycle, moon rise and set, the azimuth degree, and the altitude degree. I have blocked out my altitude, but this is the altitude from the meridian. It can even tell you the distance in kilometers from the Earth. Here we have a full moon example from Central Texas given to me by Earth is Life on Discord. This was a full moon on the 17th of October. And as you saw on the previous slide, the 17th at 9, just after 9 in the morning, was when it became a full moon. Next up, I have a close-up of the quarter moon through my telescope. On the left, you can see the shadow of the moon in the unfocused image. And on the right, it's focused. You can even still see a little bit of the shadow. And yes, the quarter moon is half of the moon we can see, but it is a quarter of the entire moon. These two are taken 6 days before the full moon. As you can see by the date, these were taken October 11th. This one at 4:38 p.m. where the sun was still up. And this one taken a few hours later at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. it was not fully dark. This is a Pro mode picture. The last pictures I have are from October 8th, 9 days before the full moon. Over here, the The sun has just dropped below the horizon, right down here. And you can see the moon in the same frame and the angle that I was seeing it from. Then, over here, the sun is still up an hour prior to the photo on the left. The timeline in the slides went backwards in time, starting with the waning crescent on October 18th, all the way back to the waxing crescent on October 8th. Now, we can go through a simple simulation. This is a lunar phase simulator from NAP Labs. It is a very good resource for anybody. I'll start by checking each box, show the angle to the sun, show the lunar landmark right up here, and show the observer's time of day. There are a couple things we need to observe to understand the way the phases work. One, we need to understand that everyone sees the same phase anywhere on Earth. This is not the same as seeing the sun at the same angle, the same landmarks, or in the same way. The southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere see the moon upside down relative to each other. We will start with the new moon. We will watch the time since the new moon as it goes through its cycle. We will watch the horizon diagram, and this is the time based on the observer, which is this little person right here. And we will watch the angle change. And now I will adjust this just a little bit, slow it down, minor, and start. As it's approaching 180 degrees, you can see how far apart the angle has changed on the horizon diagram, how much of the full moon you can see. See, even at 177.8 degrees from this observer and the sun, it is 100% illuminated. This was 14 days into the cycle. As it approaches 180 degrees and then passes it, it'll switch over to the waning side. And now it is starting to head back down towards zero. This is how the moon phases. We're now at a waning gibbous. At the sunrise mark, it will be a waning quarter moon until it reaches the new moon again. And there we go. That is a full cycle of the moon. And if you'd like to use the simulator, you can adjust the moon without running the animation. You can adjust where the person is, which affects the horizon diagram. You can make it increase days, an hour, to be more precise about which phase comes when. And with that, I would like to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who watches these lessons. Thank you to everybody who shares them, who likes them, and who has subscribed. And thank you to anybody who will subscribe.